Hello there, Bonnie and Claudia with Wit and Wisdom, and we are talking today about the subject, how do you navigate change?
And there's so much change in the world, right? And changes in our lives, seasons in our lives.
Seasons, that's a
Seasons is
word.
really good, and we have to know how to navigate them with the Lord.
Right.
And I want to read Psalm 46. I love this one. I love all the scriptures, but this is so relatable.
Which verses?
It is verses 1 through, I'm going to go to 5, okay? God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. That means right now. Therefore, we will not fear. That's the key, how to navigate change.
And it says never fear.
Yeah, in yours. That's good. We will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God. That's us. The holy place where the Most High dwells. God is in the midst of her. She will not fail, or she will not be moved. Isn't that great?
Yes, it is. And so we want to talk about times
Yes.
in our own personal lives
Yeah.
when we had a chance to quake and fear and tremble.
Yes.
So you go first.
Okay. Well, I thought you were going first.
Well, I can.
Yes, you go first.
Okay. So what we were talking about was when my husband passed. And do you know, it's almost 9 years ago.
Wow.
It's amazing. When it was 7, 8, but 9 just seems impossible to have been alone and doing what I do. And it's just incredible to think about. But
That's a huge change,
Yes,
Bonnie.
it is. A huge change. And we didn't know that he was going to pass.
Right.
We didn't know he was going to heaven. He hadn't been feeling really well. But we just thought, actually, that it was due to parasites because he had been in 2 foreign nations and you can really pick up parasites there. He had had them before, if you remember.
I do.
And had received healing for that and through natural methods. And so this time, though, he fell and had to be taken to the hospital. And then it was a whole different story.
It's true.
Because
they start looking for other things.
Yeah, and I said, when we admitted him, please check for parasites. He's been in Brazil, he's been in Kenya, East Africa, and all of his symptoms are the same as if he had parasites because he's had them before. We even had an appointment to check for that, and it didn't happen because we had to go to the hospital. Anyway, they never got it done in the week he was there. And at the end, he crashed, and I got there in time to see him about 6 in the morning, and they were working on him, and his eyes were rolled back. And when he heard my voice, he brought his eyes forward, and he tried to talk, but he wasn't able to talk where I could understand. And I just said, thank you for being such a wonderful husband and father to our children and to the world. And if you want to go to heaven now, we will let you go. We'll release you.
Yeah.
But if you want to stay, we'll fight for you. And we could tell he was ready to go.
And he's in so much pain and discomfort.
Yes, right. And so he did. He went. And then we were in the room for 3 hours with him. The whole family was there by then. And we were praying and crying and singing praises to God. And so anyway, the verdict and so forth, they said he was full of cancer, but my daughter Julie sent his DNA to a lab, and they said there was no cancer in his body, but he was very sick, and he had parasites in many places and wasn't doing well. So anyway, what I found was that I relied on the fact that I knew where he was. And I
Yes.
knew he wasn't dead.
Yes.
He was still,
Alive.
he is still alive and much better than when he was here on earth. So that just can give you great courage and encouragement.
The scripture, to be absent from the body
Yes.
is to be at home with the Lord.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
And you see,
You know, it says present with the Lord, but at home.
present
Yeah, right.
with the Lord. So there's not just a soul sleep. That's a false doctrine that you just fall asleep until later.
Right.
No, there's activity in heaven. There's worship in heaven. There's
Well, there's exploring planets.
exactly.
Et cetera.
It's just wonderful. So
Yeah. So
That-
we
that was
weren't
a big
sorry
help.
for him, but
Right.
for ourselves.
yes,
And that's what happens. So you can get over feeling sorry for yourself by just focusing on what's my purpose now here on this earth.
Yes.
And it was the same as when Dave was here.
Yes.
So I just kept doing what I knew to do.
And what was that
Here
purpose?
it is, 9 years later. My purpose was to get good news to the world
Yes.
as much as I know how.
Yes.
And I do that by writings and speaking and sharing and opening my home to the world. So I kept doing that.
That is the key. Keep your eyes on your purpose. You know,
Yes.
Bonnie, I was thinking about you had a call from God before you were married. You know, so you're called individually. So if your marriage has dissolved or you have lost a spouse, your purpose remains the same.
That's right.
And so
That's so good.
isn't that important to know?
It
yeah.
is.
And if you're single, you have a call of God. It's not dependent on being married. You know, you need to be content in that and move forward. God may supply that.
Like he
But,
did for Naomi.
yeah, right.
And not until she was how old? 38?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You just keep serving.
And she
And obeying
did that
God.
so beautifully. Naomi is her daughter, and she just went all over the world ministering. China, I remember, and many countries.
Many countries. And she said, Father,
Yes.
I don't know, but I always saw myself married with a big family. She said, the years are ticking away. What's going on? And then God brought her together with a widow who had 5 children that she had known
Amazing.
the family
She
on
had
the
met
mission
them in
field.
China.
Yeah, they were friends. And so she received a like-minded, kindred-hearted missionary husband.
Yes.
And an instant family, and now they have 6. So,
Yes.
see, God is faithful. But she didn't just start pining and pitying and, oh, Lord, you know.
Yeah, what do I
Just-
do? And just
keep
whittling
serving
away
God.
her life doing nothing,
Exactly.
waiting.
That's right. So what you've said, Bonnie, is that the following the purpose of God, walking in the
Yes.
works that He's created for you, fulfills you. There's no time to feel sorry for
That's
ourselves.
right.
It's
It's
too
true.
exciting. There are
It's
lives
true.
to change,
Yeah.
and you did it beautifully. And that
Thank
was
you.
a huge loss after how many years?
We'd been married for, 58 years.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that was not a small change.
Yeah.
But God was your
But
refuge
God,
and your
exactly.
change.
And he became my husband also.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Isn't that so great? God is in the midst of you. You will not be moved. Isn't that awesome? That's the union that we have with Christ.
Yeah, and so I didn't feel needy along the way either because God was my husband. What could be better?
And I love it. And then you invited other widows to come and spend time with you.
Right.
And you guys would pray together and see the comfort that we receive from the Lord, then we can pass on to other people.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Right. Well, we are past our time now.
Are we 9?
Yeah.
It says 9 minutes.
I know. But we've
Okay.
been going 7 lately,
Oh,
you know, because
okay.
people
So-
don't have that much time
That's
to listen
true.
to
I
us.
forgot.
Yes.
Part 2, tune in. We're going to continue
That's
this
right.
topic.
That's right. And our producer, Amy, is in Greece right now. And so I'm reaching up because I lost the remote.